The life story of Hung. Fred Matiangi. Fred Matiangi, a name that resonates across Kenya's political and social spheres, has become a symbol of leadership, resilience, and reform. Known for his no-nonsense approach to governance, Matiangi has earned the respect of many for his commitment to transforming institutions and his focus on national development. Born in 1968 in a small village in Nyamira County, his life story is one of hard work, discipline, and an unwavering belief in the power of education. Today, Fred Matiangi's political career is one of the most fascinating and inspiring in Kenya's modern history. From his early life in the rural areas of Kenya to becoming one of the most powerful figures in the government, his story is a testament to perseverance, focus, and the pursuit of excellence. Early life and education. Fred Matiangi was born in 1968 in Borabu, Nyamira County, in a family deeply rooted in education. His parents, both teachers, instilled in him a deep respect for knowledge and learning. In rural Kenya, education was seen as the gateway to a better life, and Matiangi's parents believed in the transformative power it held. Growing up, Matiangi was determined to succeed academically, showing an early aptitude for learning. His parents emphasized the importance of discipline, hard work, and integrity, values that would become the foundation of his leadership style. Matiangi attended local primary and secondary schools in Nyamira, where he excelled academically. His teachers recognized his potential and encouraged him to pursue higher education. His academic achievements eventually led him to the prestigious University of Nairobi, where he studied education. It was during these formative years that Matiangi developed his passion for public service, driven by the idea that leadership could bring about meaningful change in society. Early career and entry into public service. After completing his studies, Matiangi embarked on a career in education. His professional journey began in the education sector, where he worked in various administrative roles. He quickly earned a reputation as a disciplined and results-oriented leader, known for his ability to turn around underperforming institutions. Matiangi's entry into the public service arena came when he was appointed as the Cabinet Secretary for Education in 2013 by President Uhuru Kenyatta. At the time, the Kenyan education system faced several challenges, from widespread cheating in national exams to poor infrastructure and inadequate resources in schools. The sector was in dire need of reform, and Matiangi was tasked with transforming it. Transformation of Kenya's education sector. Matiangi's approach to education was bold and transformative. His leadership style was marked by a strong focus on accountability and results. One of his most notable reforms was the crackdown on exam cheating, a practice that had plagued Kenya's education system for decades. In 2015, Matiangi ordered the cancellation of thousands of exam results that had been compromised, signaling that he would not tolerate dishonesty at any level. While controversial, Matiangi's decision sent a clear message. He was committed to restoring integrity in the education sector. His reforms also included the introduction of new regulations to improve the quality of education, such as measures to ensure better teacher performance and the modernization of educational facilities. His leadership in the education sector won him praise from many quarters, even as he faced resistance from entrenched interests. Matiangi's ability to tackle tough issues head-on earned him recognition as a reformist leader. But his time as education minister was just the beginning of his political ascent. The rise to power. Interior Ministry and National Security. Cut to footage of Matiangi at a national security forum. In 2015, Matiangi's leadership qualities were recognized once again when he was appointed as the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government. This was a significant shift in his career, as he moved from education to national security, a sector that would test his leadership on an entirely different level. At the Ministry of Interior, Matiangi took on the daunting task of overseeing Kenya's security apparatus, particularly in the fight against terrorism, crime, and national insecurity. His leadership was immediately put to the test when the country faced a series of terrorist attacks and rising insecurity in parts of the nation. His tough, hands-on approach to dealing with these issues earned him the nickname, Super CS. Matiangi's leadership at the Interior Ministry was marked by decisive action. He implemented policies that aimed at improving the country's security framework, including tougher laws on terrorism, curfews in certain areas, and increased surveillance. Matiangi also became a key figure in the fight against corruption in the security sector, ensuring that resources were allocated where they were needed most. However, his no-nonsense approach to law enforcement was not without controversy. His critics argued that his methods were sometimes too harsh and authoritarian. Yet, Matiangi remained steadfast in his belief that order and discipline were necessary to ensure the safety and stability of Kenya. A shift to national leadership. The path to the presidency. Cut to footage of Matiangi addressing rallies and interacting with the public. As Kenya approached the 2022 elections, Fred Matiangi's name began to appear more frequently in the political conversation. Having served in various high-profile government positions, his leadership style and achievements began to draw attention from the public, and he quickly gained a reputation as a potential future leader. Despite his success in government, Matiangi's ambitions for higher office remained unclear. Although there were rumors that he might run for president in 2022, he chose to focus on supporting his party's candidate and maintaining a role in the administration. However, as the dust settled after the 2022 elections, it became increasingly clear that Matiangi was positioning himself for the next major political contest, the 2027 presidential race. Cut to interview with political analysts. Political analyst. Matiangi has always been a figure who has worked behind the scenes, but his growing influence cannot be ignored. His tenure as Interior Minister solidified his reputation as a leader who is not afraid to make tough decisions. Many now see him as one of the leading candidates for the presidency in 2027. Matiangi's growing political profile was also fueled by his involvement in the Jubilee Party and his role in key national initiatives, such as the Big Four Agenda, which aimed to address issues like affordable housing, manufacturing, universal healthcare, and food security. His participation in these high-level discussions cemented his position as a figure with the experience, vision, and ambition to lead Kenya. Fred Matiangi's leadership style. Cut to footage of Matiangi speaking at public forums. Fred Matiangi's leadership style is often described as pragmatic, decisive, and focused on results. He has never shied away from making difficult decisions, even when they were unpopular. His approach to governance is centered on discipline, accountability, and integrity, traits that he believes are essential for transforming Kenya's institutions. Matiangi's no-nonsense approach to leadership has garnered both admiration and criticism. His supporters argue that Kenya needs a leader who is not afraid to tackle corruption, inefficiency, and the political elite who have historically held power. His critics, however, have questioned whether his strong-handed style can unite the country's diverse political factions and address the broader social issues facing Kenya. The road to 2027. Matiangi's presidential ambition. Cut to footage of political rallies and Matiangi engaging with citizens. As Kenya moves closer to the 2027 presidential elections, Fred Matiangi is increasingly seen as a serious contender for the presidency. His reputation as a reformist leader, his extensive experience in government, and his commitment to public service have all contributed to his growing support among the Kenyan electorate. Matiangi's supporters argue that he is the leader Kenya needs, a man who can unite the country, address economic inequality, and bring about lasting change in the political system. With his strong background in national security and public administration, Matiangi has positioned himself as a leader capable of tackling the pressing issues facing the country, from corruption to youth unemployment and national security. However, the road to the presidency is not an easy one. Matiangi will face stiff competition from other political figures, both within his own party and from rival factions. But if history has taught us anything, it is that Fred Matiangi is not one to shy away from a challenge. His political journey is far from over. Conclusion. A legacy in the making. Cut to a wide shot of Fred Matiangi walking through a crowd, shaking hands with citizens. Fred Matiangi's story is one of perseverance, leadership, and a commitment to improving Kenya. From his early days in Nyamira to his rise as one of the most influential figures in Kenyan politics, Matiangi has shown that with determination and hard work, anything is possible. As he sets his sights on the 2027 presidency, Kenya watches closely. Will he rise to the occasion and lead the nation into a new era? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Fred Matiangi's journey is far from over.